Alright, shalom to the elect of Yasha. This your brother Pawaria coming back at you with another quick lesson from Great Millstone Des Moines. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to all you Akims out there that's pushing his word in truth, sincerity, and always in charity. And as you can see, the title is, Don't Let Your Emotions Cause You to Go Off. Because once you come into this truth, man, you're constantly working on yourself. That's the main thing that we should be doing, is working on ourselves, working on our character, working on our weaknesses, controlling our tongue, controlling our anger, having discipline, brotherly love, all these things that we should be doing, when we come into this truth. There's a code that we must live by, and that code is these scriptures. These scriptures tell us on how to move and how not to move, what to do, what not to do. When we're in a situation or any type of situation we in, the code, these scriptures, gives us the answer on how we should move. And we can't be emotional in these times. When these times come, we can't get emotional and allow our emotions to cause us to go off, to make that wrong decision, or offend a brother, or to, just to sin, man. All right? Because we're going to be put in these situations, in these tests, to see if we can stand in these afflictions and stand in these things and keep our composure, keep our integrity, and keep our discipline, man. So this is the time to be building ourselves up for the times to come, because this is light right now, man. We should be getting built up right now, man, for the times to come. All right. But let's get this in 2 Corinthians. This is 2 Corinthians 13. We're going to read 2 Corinthians 13, verse 5. And it reads, it says, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. So we have to constantly, daily, be examining ourselves whether we be in the faith. All right? Prove your own selves. And when you go into that word prove, it means to scrutinize, to test, scrutinize to see whether a thing is genuine or not. So we have to ask ourselves, because we are our worst critic and our best critics, man. Because if you're honest with yourself, you're going to know, like, all right, well, I need to work on this. All right. You know if you're sincere, if you're full of shit, or if you all these things. You know yourself more and better than anybody else besides the Lord. All right? So we have to be doing these things daily to make sure that we're, trying to fit the standard and remain blameless in the Lord's eyes. All right? But it says, read on, it says, know ye not your own selves, that Yahweh Shai is in you, except ye be reprobates. We don't want to be reprobates in this thing, man. All right? So we have to be constantly examine ourselves. All right? Because you come into this truth, there's a code that you must live by, man. Plain and simple. And that code is these scriptures, the whole volume of the book. All right? These scriptures gives us the do's and don'ts on every situation we might have to face. The scriptures gives us on how we should move in these situations, man. So we're going to be put in these situations, and we can't allow our emotions to get the best of us. All right? We're going to get put through that test, man. And us getting put in that test, we have to keep our integrity. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's get Galatians 5 right here. We're gonna read Galatians 5 and verse 22. It says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, and long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law." So these are some of the characteristics of on things that we should be working on, man. Long suffering, meekness, temperance, being in self-control, man. Not allowing anger to get the best of us, or you know what I'm saying, or anything, any situation we're in, we can't allow those things to get the best of us to cause us to go off. All right. It says, "And they that are Yahweh Shai Mashiach have crucified the flesh with the affections and lust. If we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit." So we have to be in the spirit more than in the flesh, man. All right. Feeding our spirit more will allow our flesh to starve out and not try to come in and take control over our lives and rule over us like it did before when we was that old man. All right. When we was that old man, hey, niggas couldn't be wrong. You was always right and justified in everything you did, whether it was right or wrong or whatever, you know. But in this truth, hey, we all can be corrected and we all can go off because we still in this flesh. No matter, you know, how long you been in the truth, you can go off. And if you think you can't go off, you just went off by thinking that. All right. So, man, we should be humble. Each and every last one of us, from the top to the bottom, we have to be humble in this. There's no room for any of us to have pride, you know what I'm saying, or being puffed up because you know scriptures, you know breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? Hey, nah, this you got guys talking about brotherhood before breakdowns, and man, that's nonsense, man. Because it ain't no brotherhood without the doctrine, and that's the breakdown. All right, if you don't have the right doctrine, you can't have the true brotherhood. All right, you had niggas in the world that got brotherhoods. You know what I'm saying? These gang members or whatever organizations or groups that's out there, they call themselves brotherhood, man. They're not a true brotherhood if they don't have the true doctrine of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? Because when you got the true doctrine, you're gonna fear the Lord and you're gonna follow these scriptures to the best of your ability, man. Even when you angry or when you're weak, we gotta apply these scriptures. All right, we just can't hear them. We have to do them. All right. Let me see. Verse 26, Galatians 5 and 26. It says, "Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another." So, man, we shouldn't be provoking each other, man, or envying each other, man. We should have that brotherly love, you know what I'm saying, for each other, man. Not having any type of or negative thoughts towards another brother, man. All right. So that's why it's constantly. That's why we should constantly be working on ourselves, man. All right. And recognize when that old man trying to come in. Okay, and don't allow him to, man. This is Ephesians 4 and 22. It says that we put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts. See, that old man is deceitful, is weak, man. And that old man always, from time to time, try to come back in and take over our lives, man. And we can't allow that. We have to recognize when that old man coming in these situations, man. All right. You might have brothers, they bump heads, man. And that old man, that's like a weak moment where that old man could try to come in and take, take over. But we have to recognize that, man, and stop and kill that old flesh, man. All right. We should be trying to offend less. Offense is gonna happen, but we have to offend less. All right. Because if a brother, they bumping heads, man, you don't treat your brother like they somebody out in the streets, man. All right. You know what I'm saying? We too close to the end to be flip flopping, getting weak, treating our brothers with disrespect and all kind of, all these things, man. That shit gotta be ironed out. That shit gotta be out of the body. None of those things can be in this body, man. All right, we have to be on one accord, loving each other, respecting each other. All right, and we're gonna get put to the test, man. And we have to control our tongue, because you can be in the midst of in an argument, or bumping heads with a brother, and you could say something that you know what I'm saying, that you can't take back, and it was based because you was mad or angry in your emotions. Now you said what you said, and now you can't take that back, or you did what you did, and now you can't take that back. You can ask for forgiveness, you know what I'm saying, but you gotta hope that the Lord forgive you. You know what I'm saying? The brother, he might forgive you, but you better pray that the Lord forgive you. All right? Because you don't want to offend one of the Lord's little ones, man. It's like the scripture said, it'd be better for you to have a millstone across on your neck. You know what I'm saying? Roughly paraphrasing, But, man, that's what it all boils down to, man. Us working on ourselves, having self-control. All right? Well, let's get this in Proverbs. And when that old man come, man, we gotta stop it in his tracks, man. You can't expect your brother to constantly have to deal with your weak emotions. You know what I'm saying? You don't expect your brother to constantly have to deal with your weak emotions because you having a bad day or you're going through something. So now you putting it on the next brother. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, don't do that, man. That's going off. All right? And we all know that all these things are tests to see how we're going to respond. That's the main thing, on how we respond when these things occur. When you felt disrespected, a brother, disrespected you, or he called you out your name, you know what I'm saying? He could be going off, but how you respond to it can make you go off. Now y'all both wrong, So, it's just knowing how to move in the heat of the moment, because it's going to get hotter and hotter. That temptation is going to get greater and greater. Everything is about to get turned up, man. So we have to know how to control ourselves and keep our composure and not get so emotional, And we gotta constantly be working on our own selves, working on our own emotions and stuff, man, and not expecting someone else to cater to your emotions. Or nah, man, that's weak. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord is raising up men, strong men, soldiers. And so we got to get rid of that weak nature, man. Ain't no room for it, man. We at the end. And we don't want weak bodies around us, man. Guys that's going to fold. Guys that's going to get emotional or turn on you. Which we know that's a part of the battle, you know what I'm saying? But, hey, all we got to do is just trust in the Lord, and ain't nothing that a weak body or a agent that's amongst us or Anybody that, get weak and turn and go back to the world, y'all can't do nothing against the Lord's elect. All right. So, man, we just gotta trust in the Lord, man, and constantly keep working on ourselves, man. And I know we all fall short. The scripture says, "A just man falleth short, but he getteth back up." Hey, man, we in the flesh, man. But look, we got to get back up, man. Offend less. All right. What's this? Proverbs 16. Let me read verse 32. It says, "He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he." It says, read it again. It says, "He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city." So you're a much mightier man, man, if you could just control yourself, man. Control your anger, man. You got people that's gonna poke at you and try you, disrespect you, man, call you some of the names, that the worst names ever, do some of the worst things to you. But how we respond is important. All right. The scripture says, "Be angry and sin not." So we can be angry, but let's make sure we not sinning because of what somebody else done to us, man, or said to us. In the world, man, shit, it's easily to get in your emotions, man. And I've seen it where people, I've seen it so many times, man. Somebody say something about your mama, they get emotional. Somebody step on your shoe, they get emotional. Look at you wrong, they get emotional. You know what I'm saying? And certain word, it was certain, man, like bitch, calling a man a bitch, that was fighting words, man. Anything of that sort is fighting words, man. But in this truth, we have to learn how to control ourselves, man, and control our anger, and not allow these things to cause us to go off. All right. This is Proverbs 14 and 17. It says, "He that is soon angered dealeth foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated." See, when you so quick to get angry, man, you could do things foolishly, you know what I'm saying, and regret those things later on. So even in that heat of the moment, we still have to have self-control, be self-controlled, be, disciplined. All right. This is Proverbs 25 and 28. "He that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls." You have no protection, man, if you don't have no rule over your own spirit. You're vulnerable. You can't be protected. All right. So I mean, it's pretty much it, man. It's just knowing that we have to examine ourselves daily and not let our emotions get the best of us, because we all have these emotionals, but we have to know how to control them and not allow them to get to the point where it's a burden to the brotherhood or the brothers around you. That's why, hey, listen to counsel. Listen to what brothers is telling us, man. Whether you feel it's right or wrong, we have to listen to these things and then examine it ourselves, man. we should all be trying to be a better version of ourselves. And that hurts sometimes, man, because it requires sacrifice. It requires change. So, and a person that would say, all right, well, it's weak as hell to say for somebody to be like, well, this just me. You know what I'm saying? This me, you deal with it. That's an excuse for you to stay the same person, to not grow. Because you feel, hey, well, it's me, you gotta accept me for who I am. Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah, that is. But to accept your emotions with it that comes along with it, nah, man. We all need to work on ourselves. All right. So yeah, we all got room to grow in every aspect, whether it's a strong point or weak points. But we should be working on our weaknesses, man, and then working on our strong points to make them even stronger. You know. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Um, yeah, Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, and Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to all you Akims out there pushing this word in truth, sincerity, and always in charity. Barakatham Akiyam, we almost out this hellhole. Let's keep on pushing and endure to the end. Shalom to you, sincere brothers and sincere sisters. Shalom.